You look at a team like the Pacers, right? How far off are the Atlanta Hawks realistically? If Jalen Johnson was healthy, how far away are they from right now, as currently constructed, the Indiana Pacers, who are just a couple of wins away from the Eastern Conference Finals?
They're not far at all. And I think that if you're a Hawks fan, this should excite you watching the NBA playoffs. I know we're not in it per se, but just watching a team like the Pacers, a team like the Knicks, like these teams are comparable to a healthy Hawks team, and they're taking the Celtics, the Cavs, to the woodshed. I mean, we're talking 20-point blown leads in several of these outings. First of all, I have no idea what the hell they're doing. That's embarrassing. But if you're going to relate it to the Hawks, I think that we are closer than a lot of people think.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone came into this playoffs, especially on the Eastern Conference side of things, and we're like the Celtics, who just went on like, what, a 16-1 run in last year's playoffs, are a cut above the rest. Well, obviously, we see them down 2-0 in a series to the Knicks. And listen, it wasn't that long ago that the Hawks were playing the Knicks and beating them and getting to the Eastern Conference Finals themselves. So it is interesting to see how they will approach things, because they could look at this from the scenario that, hey, we're here, we've got this team, we're not that far off. Maybe let's see how this team develops before we go all in. Or they could say, hey, it's wide open right now. Let's go after the Giannis. Let's go after the Kevin Durant. Let's go after the Devin Booker, or the one of the 20, disgruntled superstars that will come out and be like, you know what, I want to be traded today.
Well, I think that for the nuts and bolts of it, Trae Young is as good, if not better, than any player in the Eastern Conference right now in the NBA playoffs. A lot of people might not agree with that, but the way I've seen Jason Tatum play, that guy should not mention Kobe Bryant ever again. Do not disrespect Kobe Bean Bryant's name by comparing yourself to
Jalen Brunson?
I think that Trae Young is better than Jalen Brunson. Are you kidding me? I mean, nobody likes the bright lights like Trae Young, and when you've got a superstar like him, you've always got a chance if you get into the playoffs. That's all we got to do.
I agree. We'll get him and get Giannis, and guess what? You'll have the top two players maybe in the Eastern Conference. So I want to ask you, you've seen this landscape. We've got some underdogs in the role. Do you see the Celtics coming back against the Knicks? And who do you like to win this entire thing based on what you've seen so far?
I mean, I keep going to the Celtics, but they keep disappointing me. And they should be up 2-0, and we should be talking like, can the Knicks even squeeze one out? 20-point blown leads in the second half.
At home.
That never happens.
At home.
Let alone in the same series. Let alone in games 1 and 2. Let alone at the Garden. I can't even say the Celtics are going to come back. I can't.
I mean, it's absurd. I don't think I've seen this. To me, the most impressive team has been the Oklahoma City Thunder. I know they lost game 1 to the Denver
Another
Nuggets.
blown lead.
Yeah, well, that has been the story. The story of this second round has been like, get down by 20 and you're in the best spot possible. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. Not only get down by 20 on the road, and guess what? You're going to somehow win this game. It's been outstanding. It's been outstanding stuff.
I think the Thunder have got to be the team. I mean, they are so good. They're so deep. They're so good at offense. They're so good at defense. They've got the star power. They've got the depth. Anyone other than the Thunder, I honestly don't know.
I know it's going to make, if there's any New York people out there sick, and I know they're up 2-0. This is the best thing that's ever happened to the Knicks. Like, I know that MSG is going to be a madhouse. I mean, it's going to be a spectacle. It is the pinnacle of basketball, and they've gotten beaten up by these Boston Celtics for every fan that's going to be in that game that costs like $1,000 to get into has been beaten up by the Boston Celtics their entire lives. Like, this is their moment. I'm telling you right now, and I just have a gut feeling, like the pain that is going to be in the New York fans' chest when they blow this series. Because I'm telling you,
either way, we get to laugh at someone.
Yeah, well, you're right. No one can laugh at the Hawks.
Yep.
No one can laugh at the Hawks. But that wraps up our show. Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you like what you saw, check us out on Fox Local.
Good morning, and thanks so much for joining us. I'm Elizabeth Rollins, and this is News Now. Taking a live look outside. It's a rainy start to your Saturday morning. Let's check in with Alex Forbes. Good morning.
Damp, dreary, cool, windy day. How many more adjectives can you come up with on this Saturday morning? Looking live from downtown up towards Midtown. Obviously, we've got the raindrops on the lens here. We've seen showers over the last little bit. And over the course of the weekend, we are going to be looking for those cloudy, damp, and breezy conditions to continue here in the metro area and all across north and central Georgia. 56 is where we are now in Canton, 59 in Blairsville. Our temperature continues to fall in Atlanta. 61 is where we are at the moment. I expect to dip into the 50s a little bit later this morning. 64 over in Eatonton, 65 in LaGrange, and 64 in Thomaston at this hour. Peel back the temperatures in the clouds. Let's take a closer look at the rainfall right now up across North Georgia from Fannin County through parts of Union and Lumpkin counties now over towards Dalton and Lafayette. That's lifting up towards Chattanooga. A steadier rain now in parts of North Fulton, northern DeKalb, over near Peachtree Corners and Gwinnett. And that's moving into East Cobb as we speak. Slide this down onto the south, looking at a pretty good shower just north of McDonough. That's moving up into Rockdale County and Eatonton. Seeing some showers at this hour. Also over near West Point Lake in LaGrange, I'm looking at a band of rain that looks a little heavier about to move in LaGrange. But as we look down into central Georgia, notice the coverage of rain is not quite as widespread. I think that's what we could expect into the early afternoon, that dry slot to move up into North Georgia. So the trend has not changed, right? We're still looking at pretty much across metro Atlanta and north and central Georgia a wet day, but it's not a washout by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, neither today or tomorrow is going to be a complete washout. We'll say temperatures give or take a little bit, 66 this afternoon. Obviously, we're below that mark now. We were near 70 this morning. So I think generally speaking, we will be in the mid to low 60s. Not on a consistent roller coaster ride, if you will. Then for tomorrow, 69 your high temperature with on and off showers yet again. An 80% chance of rain. Again, not for the entire day, just at some point through the day of seeing rain on your Mother's Day. So there's your hour by hour forecast. You see has us dropping into the upper 50s here over the next little bit. The best chance of rain has been this morning. This afternoon's rain chance is not going to be quite as widespread, but still nonetheless, it is a rain chance across the area. There's the noon hour. Play this forward into the afternoon. I think any storm activity today is going to stay down to the south and east. That easterly breeze very much in place. Some wind gusts upwards of 30 miles an hour going to be a possibility. Scattered showers for your Mother's Day morning. Again, not a washout. This is the noon hour, but still, if it's not raining, it's overcast, it's windy, you know how it goes. This particular model run has a steady band of rain moving through by the time we get to Sunday evening. And then that takes us to Monday morning, which we're going to talk more about here in just a moment. Here's your wind forecast through the afternoon. You see widespread wind gusts 20 to 30 miles an hour across parts of north and central Georgia. That's actually going to stick with us through the overnight. It's not necessarily going to totally go away. And then we're going to do the same song and dance tomorrow across the area. Okay. Let me take you over to the Fox model now and take you to Monday. Notice, somewhat similar to what we just saw, it has a narrow band of storms Monday morning trying to push into the Atlanta area. Now, I'm going to be watching these closely, so that's the 10 a.m. hour, and then again for whatever fires up Monday afternoon for the potential of maybe some severe weather. The Storm Prediction Center has included, for the most part, metro Atlanta and then areas east and south of the city and a risk for severe weather. They're thinking that some of those cells that you saw could potentially be supercells. And if we do get that to happen, we would be looking at a damaging wind risk, also a spin-up tornado risk. Now, I think the ingredients are going to be in place, but it's like baking a cake. If anything is off by any slight inkling of a unit, then that's going to throw off the whole severe weather risk. So we're going to call it conditional, but it will be around for Monday afternoon and evening, primarily here across the area. The other thing is we are looking at a decent amount of rain between now and, say, Wednesday, when all is said and done. Widespread 3 to 5 inches across much of the state. Not quite as much up near the Tennessee-North Carolina state line, but still over an inch before all is said and done. Some needed rainfall. We are below average on the year. We are certainly going to have the chance to see some over the course of the next 7 days. So the cooler weather, the rainfall, they go hand in hand. The drier weather and the warmth, yeah, they go hand in hand as well. Starting the week off on a wet note, some storms on Monday, maybe again on Tuesday before, Elizabeth, we round out the week on Thursday and Friday, and temperatures will get near 90 for afternoon highs.
All right, thanks so much, Alex Forbes. Oh, we're following breaking news right now in Henry County. We want to go to our Lindsay Tuman, who's been following this massive fire at a warehouse. Lindsay, good morning.
distribution center, and fire officials say that the fire was in the tire racks outside of this building. This all happened at around 4 o'clock this morning, but you can see here behind me there's still an active scene as firefighters continue to look for any hot spots in those tire racks and continue to make sure that the scene remains contained here. But a very large fire that was spotted here this morning. In fact, when we got here before the 5 o'clock hour, we could still see large plumes of smoke and a pink sky from the remnants of those flames. Firefighters say that Henry County, along with McDonough, both responded out here to put out everything as quickly as possible. As soon as they got here, they put up the ladder trucks and were using the hoses to contain those flames, which they did get under control relatively quickly, but there were some challenges they faced as well.
It was a considerable amount of fire. There was probably, I don't know how much was stored outside, but it looks like it was in the area of the outside tire storage. So these are going to be racks that are, you know, tens of feet tall with hundreds of tires contained and stored within.
Yeah, so they really had to work hard to get everything under control. And as I said, they're still busting down the area, looking for any hot spots that they have to contain. They actually had to switch out crews at some point because at around 7 o'clock they had shift change. Now this area is fairly industrial on one side. On the other side, there are some homes that back up, but the fire was completely contained. It didn't even hit the building really next door to it. But of course, we'll continue to keep you updated as we learn more, including what exactly sparked this fire. But for now, that's the very latest live out here in Henry County. Elizabeth, back to you.
Reporting. Right now, Clayton County Police needs your help. They are looking for an inmate who has escaped. We want to show you this picture. This is James DeMonte Beasley. He's 5'7", 170 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. He's on the run from Southern Regional Hospital. If you have any information, please call police. And we continue to follow the train derailment investigation. This was in Fayette County, carrying non-hazardous materials. The cause of the derailment still under investigation. The train's cargo details and railroad crossings reopening remain unclear. Local residents say that the road closures have been very disruptive. And taking a look now, you can see the old Atlanta Medical Center. It's being demolished as they get ready to put in a nice mixed-use space. A 22-acre space is going to be a neighborhood with affordable housing, residential properties, and more. But of course, crews are actually still demolishing it as we speak. Well, if you are watching us, or you can always listen to us, we're going to take a quick break. Take us with you on the radio.
To Fox 5 Live on the Fox 5 Radio 1 network. Just tune your HD radio to 107.9 HD2 FM.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Elizabeth Rollins here with Dana Fowle with the Fox 5 I-Team. Welcome.
I'm glad to be here.
Glad to have you. You've been working on a really interesting project, right? With the FTC, and they have new regulations.
Yes, I mean, this is about junk fees, and I don't know anybody who likes these. And what a junk fee is just this sort of attached fee on the back end of the purchasing process. Like, I've got a concert ticket. Let's say it's $100, which is pretty cheap these days, but let's say it's $100. And you're going through the process and you're invested in this purchasing process, and now you're kind of in there. And then, when you get to your cart, all of a sudden there are all these extra fees that can sometimes make the price of that live event so much more. And now it's not affordable and you've invested too much time. So this new rule applies to live events, short-term rentals, and hotels is what we're talking about here.
Okay. So how much of a problem has this become for them to actually say, okay, we need to regulate this?
Well, the Biden administration really grabbed hold of this and said, this will be our legacy, managing and getting a hold of this junk fee situation. And so this became a final rule in the mid-December, and now you need, I think 120 days before it kicks in. So May 12th, this will kick in. And so it is coming around. The Trump administration is on board with this. So this is one place where they've gotten together and they both agree in this segment that this works. Now, the Trump administration has found the Biden administration had some overreach in some of these FTC fees, and like for the overdraft fees.
Yeah.
The Biden administration put a cap on that. The Trump administration said that's not fair for business, so that has been scrapped. But here, this has not been scrapped, and so what you're going to see May 12th is, your live event, you are maybe getting a short-term rental, a hotel, and you find out the room is $220. Well, you're not getting this $125 cleaning fee on the back end. It's important to note, this is not going to change the cost, and it's not going to eliminate fees. That's not what this is designed to do. Those fees are still going to be there, providing the business still wants to be upfront about that. $125 cleaning fee, say. It'll just be upfront, and you will know at the very beginning of the process.
So, if I'm on, hotels.com and I see a hotel that's $200, I click on it, it's hopefully going to be $200.
It's hopefully going to be $200. Now, there are taxes, which are a very traditional part of the process, but these sort of extra add-on fees, I think really where we started to see it first, and it made a lot of us angry, is with ticket purchasing.
Yes.
You're trying to get yourself a Taylor Swift ticket, which is already outrageously expensive, and then you get all the way to the cart, you're getting ready to give your credit card, and you're like, well, my goodness, this is way more than I thought it was going to be at the beginning of this process.
So, okay, as a consumer, and I'm going to check out, and I noticed that maybe, they weren't upfront. What do you do?
You turn this into the FTC. That is the umbrella group where this is going to be taking place. You report that to the FTC, but I'm sure the FTC will be pretty vigilant. And it seems narrow in its scope right now when we're talking again about short-term rentals, live events, and hotels. But I think you're going to be able to see this expand into other areas, because I think there's an appetite for this. They'll probably see how this goes. There's an appetite for this, particularly in the rental car area and the airline area. But the FTC would not be the umbrella group. That would be the Department of Transportation, and it would come with a different set of rules and regulations.
It's going to be interesting, because I feel like we're all sort of just conditioned to think, okay, that's the price, but it's not really the price. And so now we're going to be hopefully kind of getting rid of that.
Well, what it does is allow you to comparison shop, so that you can actually see the cost of something and go, wait, I like this hotel here and I like this hotel here. Wow, this one seems cheaper. So you get all the way through the process with this one, and then you find out, well, wait a minute, the add-on fees don't make it any cheaper, and it really is about the same price. So you can comparison shop and you can budget. And this has been the consumer complaint. I don't know what I'm getting until I'm almost done, and I'm so invested in the process that I sort of can't back out.
Has the FTC said how they're going to regulate it? If company is in violation, what could happen?
What they're going to do is watch for trends. That's what they do. They'll watch for trends. And when you step out of an FTC regulation, you are warned There is, they let you know. And big chains are going to be less likely to participate in something like that because they know they're being watched and they have a reputation to protect. But the FTC will track that, and they need you as consumers to report what you're seeing. And you can get fined. The FTC will fine heavily if these groups do not stay in line with the regulations.
You said May 12th?
May 12th.
Okay, should be interesting. Anything else you want to add for our viewers?
I mean, if you see this not working out, you can write the Fox 5i team. Let us know what you're seeing because a lot of our story ideas are generated by you. So just ping me and let me know. I'm on social media. You know how to find me.
Dana Fowl with the Fox 5i team. Such a pleasure. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back and thanks for joining us. I'm Elizabeth Rollins and this is News Now. We're following some breaking news right now. This just into our newsroom. An earthquake that has rattled Georgia. This earthquake actually originated in Tennessee. The USGS says it was a 3.5 magnitude quake on the Georgia and North Carolina border. The phones in our Fox 5 newsroom are ringing off the hook right now. Many of you, our viewers, feeling that earthquake this morning. We've got crews standing by. Alex Forbes is doing a little bit more digging on this and is going to have a live report in just a bit. Meanwhile, we want to go to our Eli Jordan, who is getting ready to celebrate Mother's Day with the florists. Eli.
Hey, Elizabeth. Hey, I didn't feel any shaking down here. I'm down here in Hampton, Georgia. And, florists all over the metro area, they're getting ready. This is probably one of the busiest days of the year. And I'm at one of those florists. I'm at Hummingbird
The banner's
Flowers
not taking.
down in Hampton. And they are getting all ready for deliveries. And they got some flowers here.
So
This is some flowers that are going to be picked up today. Like I said, today's probably one of the biggest days of the year. They got their quote-unquote seasonal workers.
That which is the purpose of getting them. Is that Brian?
Their season is Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, and here's Whitney putting some flowers together, putting some arrangements together. And here's Pamela Duchenne.
Hi.
She is the owner and proprietor of Hummingbird Flowers. How are you doing today?
I'm wonderful, thank you.
And so tell me, how busy is a day like today?
Oh
the
my
day before?
gosh, today is so busy. This is one of our busiest days of the year, next to Valentine's Day. We probably have about 50 orders that we're trying to fill here. We're busy.
How busy would you say, all the florists are across the city today?
I'm sure they are all very busy.
And so tell me, what are some popular Mother's Day flowers?
So tulips, sunflowers, lilies, Most people like a mix of flower arrangements versus just roses. However, this year we did get quite a few orders for roses, but you know, lilies, some sunflowers, carnations.
Oh yeah, carnations are cool.
Yeah, these are some wax flowers. They have a nice fragrance. They come in different colors. The thistle, the spray roses.
Oh yeah, these roses are really nice.
Yeah.
Here. I like those yellow roses.
Yeah.
What is it?
And this is status that comes in different colors, but we decided to get a purple because we have a few customers that we know like purple. So we got some purple status and some misty blue.
So Pamela, I don't want to interrupt you working, but just tell me, how long would you say people have to get their orders in for their mamas?
So we're taking orders up until we close today because we're going to actually open tomorrow on Mother's Day since it is Mother's Day. So as soon as possible, before all our flowers, as you can see, we're running out. We're starting to get limited supplies of what's left. So.
And you're usually not open on Sundays, are you?
And I'm usually not open on Sundays.
So that's a big deal. I mean, like I said, how big of a deal is Mother's Day for you guys?
It is absolutely big.
How much would you say, like, you know, your
so this
for
is
florists and stuff?
So how much? This is like $100.
No, I'm just saying, like, you know, how many percentage-wise of your sales of the year? I mean, it's like,
Oh, so yeah, between Mother's Day and Valentine's Day, we get about 70% of our sales for the year. So they are very important. Mother's Day, we're probably getting about 45% of our orders coming in for the sales for the year.
so they better not ever cancel Mother's Day.
Right.
Awesome.
Never cancel Mother's Day.
So you guys
everybody has a mother, so
Yep.
everybody should be in here buying something for a mother.
Right on, and you got, you know, your workers there, you know, extra help here because it's going to be busy. They're going to be busy all day here, Elizabeth. I mean, it's the day before Mother's Day. You got to
Was that
get
an
your
order?
mom some flowers. You got to let her know how
Was
much
it Brian?
you love her.
Oh,
and
that's
even
who
if you're,
called
you know,
initially?
a few dudes out there that are married, you got to get your wife some
Flower
flowers
Network,
too.
okay.
Because kids can't buy their own flowers for
Yeah,
themselves.
but-
So. Anyway, I'm here, like I said, at Florist, Hampton, Georgia, Hummingbird Flowers.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's a
Flower
busy day
Network
at all
always
florists around
wants to
Metro
just
Atlanta.
charge a little,
Elizabeth?
give you a percentage.
Eli,
of
what a
something.
cool assignment. All right, we continue to follow breaking news right now. A earthquake. Alex, what do you have?
All right, so we just got this in. It's loading up in the system right now. A magnitude 3.5 earthquake has been felt. It was about 30 miles south of Knoxville. All right, so this is going to be about 125 miles north of Atlanta. And as we look at this, we're looking at the epicenter being really right just north of Clay County, North Carolina. I tell you what, Chris, if we could take graphic 7, that would be great. And what we're going to do is look at this through the morning hours. It's hopefully a one and done, but man, I tell you what, you can probably hear the phones ringing in
Yes.
the background.
Yes, you
It
can.
definitely felt here in the metro Atlanta area this morning. So look, here's the thing with earthquakes. This happened very close to where a lot of lakes and dams are there in the southern Appalachians, and this type of thing is somewhat to be expected, not unheard of. We'll see them every once in a while. I'm thinking namely, you know, down near Lake Sinclair, Lake Oconee, we see a handful of them at times, but this one was certainly a strong one this morning. 9:04 a.m. was when it hit, and that's what we are seeing now. So I got a text from Forsyth County. I was rolling on my Facebook page. I know it's been felt here in DeKalb. It's been felt in Paulding. It's been felt in Cobb, Gilmer, Fannin, Habersham, Rabun, so basically up near the state line. I haven't seen anything from the south side of the metro yet. So if you're in the south side of the metro and you felt this, let us know, because I'd be curious to see how far south this was able to
Okay.
make it.
Hopefully, would this be damage causing?
Maybe up there,
Okay.
down here, not so much. And if there were damage in that area, it would be things like a minor crack in a sidewalk.
Okay.
And I don't know how many sidewalks there are in the mountains, right?
Right.
But there are roads. So I would say up there it would be possible, not necessarily likely, but you know, an earthquake's an earthquake,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Now, I'm sure the people in California are looking and laughing at us, but it does not happen very frequently around here. And just since, you know, I grew up here, I've felt one or two of them where I grew up in Forsyth County. That was very minimal what I
Yes.
felt. this sounds like it was a little more.
Yes.
Yeah,
well, and you hear the phones ringing in the background.
Right.
I mean, ringing off the hook.
Yes.
Many folks calling in right now to tell us about
Yeah.
that they felt it. That
Right.
yeah. What? Wow. So we're going to continue to follow this. Obviously, want to kind of zero in on the closer you get to that, and see if there was any damage or anything like that. So we'll
be looking up there. And of course, the people in Hayesville up in North Carolina, they are in the Fox 5 family, if you will. They get Fox 5 up there. So if you're watching from Clay County, North Carolina this morning and you see anything, but Mother Nature doesn't know state lines. Right. If you're in Union or Towns County or Fannin County, right, you are much closer to where the center of this was, which means you might be a little more likely to have seen something in those areas. So if you did see something, let us know. If I would say this, as we've alluded to, the phone's ringing off the hook. If all you did was feel shaking, we know the ground shook. All right, we appreciate you calling, but if you've got damage, that's something we really want to know.
Absolutely. Hopefully, everyone is safe though from that earthquake. But again, we'll continue to follow this throughout the morning. We'll be back at 10 o'clock. Stay with us for all of your local live streaming news right here on News Now. I'm Elizabeth Rollins. We're going to take a break. Again, we'll be back at 10 o'clock. Meanwhile, you can always take us with you on the radio. Thanks for joining us. I'm Elizabeth Rollins. We're following breaking news right now. A earthquake in Tennessee. We now know that it's a 4.1 earthquake that happened earlier this morning. Many folks across North Georgia feeling the magnitude of that earthquake. And again, that's been upgraded from a 3.5 earthquake to a 4.1. We're going to continue to follow this. We'll be